What is good, YouTube? We are back, and today we have got Keanu. You've all probably seen on my Instagram lately, actually. This guy's come out of nowhere, like genuinely out of nowhere. And he made 5K last month in 19 days. And today we are gonna go over a couple of changes that we done. A couple of things that Keanu would give advice to anybody watching right now, and kind of just have a general chat on his process, how things have gone, and Keanu's life. You just get to know Keanu, and you get to know a lot about him and the process that we've gone through from where he was, where I'll actually let him introduce himself so we can discuss everything like that, from where he's actually come, because Keanu lives 20 minutes up the road from me actually, which is kind of crazy, and we met online.
Small world.
So, Keanu, what did you do for work before you got here, bro? In fact, give yourself a little introduction to like who you are. And
Yeah, so obviously my name's Keanu. Again, just like Yasin, from a small town in Wales. And I've been in an appointment setting for probably about a year overall now. And throughout that year, there's been hard times, there's been good times, but we're slowly making progress, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I've said it, but bro, what did you make last month?
5K month, first 5K month.
5K in the first 19 days of the month, by the way. Second half of the month, his offer owner was being a bit silly and didn't want to scale the offer anymore because he couldn't take on any more clients. But we move. Right, what was you doing before appointment setting? And like, give him a little rundown on your life, what you kind of working towards, etc.
Yeah, so before appointment setting, I started off with warehouse work actually. Horrible shift. It was
Where?
like,
What shop did you actually work in?
it was every, and then I went to Lidl. It was horrible, honestly. Christmas time was the worst time. Just working horrible hours, 2 till 10, and then I think Lidl was like 5 till 1. So it was just, even like you say, you've got the rest of your day, you don't. You're knackered by the end of the shift. So it's just, and then eventually I did get into sales, and that was just normal like telecom sales. But I ended up realising like these people are paying commission, but I'm seeing salespeople make a lot more than what I'm making. So that's when I eventually sort of looked into the high ticket sales space. So
Yeah, okay. So telecom sales, how did that go for you? And how did you know that sales was meant for you? Like, why did you transition from, first of all, before we get into appointments, like, why did you go from warehouse work to sales anyway? Because that's obviously a sign, right?
yeah, because it was more like the warehouse job was just, it was really like physically demanding, and I sort of handle mental stress a little bit better. So I thought, it's more of like a mental job. You just like sitting talking to people, and as I started doing that job, I realised that like talking to people is just a normal skill of mine. Like I can talk to people. I'm quite a convincing person. I've got a future in sales. I've got like sort of a career in sales. They like to say you've got the gift of the gab, as they say.
Yeah, okay, cool. What specifically about like sales do you think that you was good at? Like you say sales, like to these people, some of these people you don't even know what sales is and how it all works. So what specifically about sales do you think, right, that's Keanu written all over, like why he should
More
be
of
good
like
at?
helping people. So it's not more of like the sales aspect of things. It's more of like helping people and helping people solve problems that they have, and just helping them level up in different aspects of their life as well. So it's obviously, I've leveled up in my own aspects. To be able to help other people do that as well within sales, it's just an amazing thing, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. And your favourite part about sales is, I'm guessing, helping other people, right?
Yeah, helping other people, talking to people every day. Like you talk to different people every day, so it's honestly amazing.
Okay, cool. So last month, 19 days, 5K. We'll go into this now. What was you earning in your last jobs, like your warehouse jobs and everything like that? Like what was you earning?
2K in the warehouse jobs.
Shit, okay.
It's mad. So not even half of what I earned last month. And then in the telecoms job, I think the most I ever reached was 3K, but that was on like a really good month.
Yeah, with like all the overtime, with everything included, right? Yeah, okay. So like what? How many hours would you say you worked a week to earn that 3K?
40 hours a week at least. That's minimum. You'd have to do overtime plus do a good month on commission to earn that, even 3K, even 2.5K a month.
Okay, so before before everything like in the telecom sales, because obviously like a lot of people go into these sales jobs with commission and add the overtime onto their wage, but they have got to work the overtime to get there. So if you didn't work any overtime in your telecoms job in that sales, what would be the income if you didn't work no overtime?
I'd probably say it would be capped at maybe 2.3K.
Okay, so you doubled your wage last month in 19 days. It's actually crazy, right? And like, how did you find me? How did you find setting, and why setting over everything else?
Yeah, so obviously I found you, realised that we've actually got quite a few mutuals. So it was like, at first it was more like living in fear of like getting scammed and things, so they got scammed previously. So just having that like person that like not new personally, but like new in my area, just to have that trust in that one person, it just sort of helped me take that extra step and go, do you know what, I'm going to take that actual risk and just learn a new skill to eventually be able to make myself financially free and just a lot more freedom in general.
Okay, and when you say you've been scammed in the past or tried things in the past, what hustles have you tried?
Trading, I've tried affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA, I've tried all sorts. I've tried those copy and paste trading groups. Like I've tried pretty much everything under the sun that you can probably think of to make money. But I'd say appointment settings just sort of changed my whole perspective on the making money online space, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay, so I may as well have asked you what side hustle you haven't tried, right? So, why do you think they didn't work, and why do you think appointment setting did work?
I think, like I said, appointment setting taught me a lot about the making money online space. I was always under the impression that making money online was just sort of a get rich quick thing. So like there was a way to like make your first 10k month in a month. But when I hopped on that first call with Yasin, he made me aware from the start that you're not going to make that in the first month. You've got to actually put in the work. And I think from that point on, it just made me realise that anything that I'm going to do is going to require me to put in the work. And it just made sort of sense with me being in sales before actually getting into high ticket sales. It just made a lot more sense for me to just learn that one skill and just focus on that one thing rather than jumping between side hustles.
Yeah, okay. And you just said about like getting the money fast or whatever it is. Did everybody else promise you like fast money online?
Yeah. Okay. It's like a lot of this making money online stuff nowadays. When you see it all advertised, they advertise it as a get rich quick scheme. Like you would just straight up and honest with me, like this is not a get rich quick scheme. You've got to put in the work for it.
Okay. And do you feel like that was like something that made you cross a line too?
Yeah, okay. Definitely. It was just more of like the honesty of like, I'm just going to be straight up with you. Like if you're expecting to make X amount in X amount of time, it's not realistic. This is where you can get to, and this is a realistic timeline for you. So it was just more sort of, I knew what I was getting into before I got into it, kind of thing. I weren't sort of getting into it without knowing.
Yeah, I'm always honest with everybody, and it's like something that I can't get my head around. Because if it happened to me, it's like I've had people come to me and say, "Oh," because I bought loads of like courses, management before appointment set myself before I actually made something work for it. And it goes back down to like I wouldn't want somebody to do to me what happened to me to somebody else. So that's why I'm like that type of person. But bro, it's taken you a couple of months to get to where you are right now. Why do you believe that didn't happen quicker? Like, what do you think the reason actually was?
I'd say it was just more again like you keep dropping into that mindset of like. This is if something doesn't work for you, it's not going your way. It's just sort of like not putting in the effort yourself. It's just once you actually lock in and put in the effort yourself. Like I could have made progress a lot earlier and a lot sooner if I put in the work consistently. It was just more of a case of like dropping off when things weren't working. But the best advice that I always give to anyone that started anything like this is just keep at it. Even though things won't go your way all the time. You'll have bad times. You'll have really hard times. Like things are just not going to go your way. And every time that you want them to, just keep pushing for it and just keep chasing that goal that you've actually set for yourself, and you will get there.
Yeah, okay. And when you said like quite a lot about it took you a while to get there, like why, like what are you actually looking to achieve? Like why do you even work so hard? Because these hard days come across no matter what level you get to, right? You've hit 5k now you want to do 10k, that's obviously, right? The next steps. Like what's your goals and what's your kind of reason why?
My goals is to eventually become the most successful person in my family. Mainly purely because I never had anything given to me, so it's like my parents sort of just grew up like working a normal 9 to 5, not really having the most amount of money, so it's just sort of being able to help them as well and just be that first person in my family to say, do you know what, I've actually made that I've been able to help out my family as well, the same way they supported me every step of the way. So it's more just giving back to the people that have helped me and supported me and just giving me love throughout the time that I've been doing this.
Yeah, okay. And are you at that point yet? Because I know like 5k is a decent amount of money, especially in a small town in Wales. There's not so much you can spend your money on. So are you at that point just yet? Or?
Yeah, to be fair, I gave quite a bit last month when I did make that 5k, but it's just a good feeling to be able to go, here's money for the month, all your bills are covered, like the money that you've actually earned yourselves, you spend it for yourself, I'll cover the bills for the month. So it's just an amazing feeling to be able to do something just as small as that.
Knowing you couldn't do that a couple of months ago, but now you can.
Exactly.
What's like how's that actually, like how does it make you feel? You say amazing feeling, but how does it make you feel?
It makes you feel like you're making progress. It makes you feel like you're getting somewhere, and it just gives you that extra push to keep going. It's like I've been able to actually like pay for my parents' bills for the whole month. Why can't I make even more to be able to pay for it every single month, or pay for the bills and their spending every single month?
Yeah, and you're 21? And you're paying for your parents' bills, bro. It's like, bro, who's doing that, you know? And it's like, it's so good that you're actually going down the route of parents' bills, family, not just yourself, designer, because so many people get caught up in all of that. And it's so good to do that. But bro, like, what do your parents say about you paying for bills, bro? It's pretty sick.
To be fair, at first they weren't, because I quit my job actually end of November last, and I remember saying to you on that first call that we had, my goal is to quit my job by the end of the year, and that happened, to be fair. So when I first quit my job, they were a bit skeptical about it, and they were like, what do you mean you're quitting your job? Like, you're not really making money consistently on this new side hustle thing that you're doing. But to me, it wasn't a side hustle, it was like my main sort of thing. So it's now them realising that I've made progress, and I've turned to them and gone, do you know what, I'm covering your bills this month. It's just made them realise, okay, he's actually put in the work, he's just put himself in that position where he has to make it or he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm curious on what was their actual reaction? Like, what was their live reaction when you said, right, I'm actually paying bills this month?
They were generally just speechless. They didn't know what to say for a good 30 seconds. I remember telling them, and for a good 30 seconds it was just dead silence. And I remember my dad turning around and saying, do you really think that's a good idea to be quitting your job without having something to fall back on?
Yeah.
And my response was, I will prove to you that I don't need something to fall back on. And that was just sort of my motivation to just not only help them out, but also to sort of prove them wrong, that like I wasn't doing this just because I felt like doing it or I just didn't want to work. I was doing it for a reason, because I had the vision.
Yeah, okay, and you just said about your dad said about the side hustles are going to work, right? When you said that, Dad, I'm paying the bills this month, like, like what did he do?
He was like, what do you mean? Like, a couple of years ago, money from this.
Yeah, that's sick. But you said, so you quit your job when you was earning a small amount, right? How much?
In the hundreds, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think I only earned about 500 for the month. Okay. I was like, I just saw the vision in there. I was like, I've made money from my phone essentially.
Yeah. So why did you quit? Like, you went from 2.3k to a couple hundred. Like, you're losing 2k a month. Why did you quit?
It was more because all I needed for myself was just to be able to make myself live. So just to be able to cover like my bills and stuff, and like obviously eat. I said to myself, as long as I can cover that, I'll quit my job and go full time into this.
Okay. So. Okay, but that 2k drop for a couple of, like, how long did you drop 2k for?
From November until last month, which was April. So
okay, so you went 5 months, like just scraping. Okay, and then from when you first quit that couple hundred to the last 1 month, you was earning like more than a couple hundred, or was you still like?
Yeah, it sort of like gradually picked up. It would like fluctuate quite a bit, and that's what I mean by these hard times. Like, so 1 month you'd have like a decent month where you make a little bit more. Other months you make like, and you just be scraping your bills kind of thing. So
yeah. Okay.
It just gradually increased kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, bro, like, why was it inconsistent? Because whose fault was that, you know?
My own fault.
And what was the difference between it being inconsistent from like the couple of months? Like, what was like the shift? Because I know what the shift was, because I phoned you, right?
Yeah.
I knew what was happening. So, and it's like, what do you think changed? Because I remember you went ghost, bro. You just died. Nobody could get hold of this guy. Nobody could do nothing, right? And you went ghost. And I was like, bro, you've got too much potential to believe on the table. We had a quick phone call, and then it all started to pick up. It all started to go something. But Keanu, like, what was the change between? Because there was clearly something. I can only give you the advice, you know. It's clearly something that changed. Like, what was the mindset shift between when you went ghost for a bit? We had a quick call, then like it changed, and you made your vibe. Like, what was the change?
It was just more sort of like having that call with you, and like fair play to you as well. Like, you would check up on people like consistently. Like, I went ghost, you check up on me like, bro, how's everything going? I haven't heard from you in a while. So it's just sort of like knowing that you have like someone that actually cares for you, someone you've invested in that actually cares and wants you to do well, and just having that one-to-one call just made you realise there's someone that can actually help you. The only person that's stopping you from doing anything is you. Like, you've got all the training, you've got all like how to set and everything. Yeah. The only person stopping me and is just having that limiting belief is me.
Yeah. What was the limiting belief, you think? Like, you say it's you, but there's specific limiting beliefs. Like, what do you think it was?
It's just, I think it was a consistency of like, sometimes you learn a bit more, other months you learn a bit less. It was just more sort of, whenever something didn't go my way, you just end up just taking a couple of steps back kind of thing, instead of pushing even more forward for you to actually get to the goal that you want to get to.
Okay, and in your journey that you've got, because that's a limiting belief a lot of people give up on, is like consistency. It's actually an easy belief to get over, because you just got to show up. regardless what happens.
Exactly.
But the issue is like showing up on the bad days is what is going to separate you now yourself, you even said, from where you are now to where you want to be.
Exactly.
So, but before you even start this whole journey, like making money online, appointment setting, quitting jobs, because bro, this time last year you was working your job, it's only April.
Yeah,
May, you were still working your job. So what limiting beliefs have you had to come over from then and since like the 5K month version of yourself now? Because you're a different Keanu.
Yeah. It was more just sort of limiting beliefs and like relying on motivation rather than discipline. So like trying to do work when you're feeling motivated just never worked for me. It was more of just a case when I had to realise that even the days that I don't want to do anything, or the days that I don't want to show up, or the days that I don't want to take calls or anything, still show up on those days, because those are the days that are usually going to be your best days in the end.
Okay, so the days you weren't showing up, you still had the same goal.
Yeah.
So why wasn't you showing up?
It was just, I was relying too much on motivation, I think.
Okay, one off day would be like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
I can do a loophole, right?
I can't bother to do anything today. I just have like a chill, relaxing day today.
Yeah, and especially like when it comes to the point you're quitting your job, was it more so like you thought, right, I've got freedom now. I've got a couple hundred coming in, I can live, you know?
Exactly.
You got comfortable, right?
Exactly.
And it's
comfortable.
But bro, I'll be honest with you, it's good you're actually admitting that. Not many people do that, and it's good you're doing that. So yeah, and even when you like thought, because I know you said you got scammed, you got this, you got that, you got the other, everything that everybody says, but what made you actually think, right, it's time to actually take action onto something else and something new? Because you joined like in a few months from now, so like 10 months ago, within 3 months you quit your job. You quit your job within 3 months, but you wasn't making good money. But all of that aside, before all of this even happened, like what was the things going in your head, and like how long did you even like want to make money online again and try again, and what was you doing?
It was such a long time. Like I think it was, I've always been the type of person to like make money. Like I was one of those kids in school that would like sell like canned drinks and stuff. Like I take all the books on my bag and sell canned drinks and stuff instead. So I've always had that sort of drive to want to be able to make my own sort of money and not work for someone. But I think the main thing was money and just having fear of like being scammed and things like that, or like having fear of like I need certainty that this thing's going to work, or like this training's going to work or something. Like it was just more fear of like having to spend money, and like money that I might not be able to afford to spend, and just not having a guarantee that something's going to work.
Yeah, okay. And how did you get over them beliefs? Because bro, they're such rookie beliefs, bro. It's like, you know, you look back now and think, did you think yourself like, what was I thinking?
Exactly what were you thinking? It was just more like just having a little like talk with myself and thinking, how am I actually going to get to these goals? Like all these people are online making money, they're like traveling the world and things. How have they actually got there? And then it was just sort of just seeing that people are investing in themselves and things like that. And like I said, when I actually knew that you were from my area and things, it just built that extra trust as well for me to be able to say, do you know what, I'm going to make the decision and actually just take that first step and just invest into myself. And honestly, it's probably the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, okay. Probably does offend me, but we leave that. But yeah, but like, why did you wait for me to come along? Like why did you wait for somebody from a small town race like yourself to do what I done for you to get to your goals? Like, why not do it yourself? Because even though I'm from a small town in Wales, I still could have been one of these people out there just doing all the stuff people do. So what was like the difference?
I think it was more because I got to that point where I was like I'm fed up of waking up, because I think I was working the Lidl job at the time, and I was waking up at like 4 a.m. every single day, or 3:30 in the morning every single day, working 8 hours, getting home at like 2 p.m. and then going to sleep at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Like I eventually just got fed up of it, and I was like, I've got to do something for me to actually get out of this 9-to-5 life that I don't want to live, essentially. So it was just sort of me having that real talk with myself and realising I'm just being scared. I'm just living in fear of what's going to happen.
Yeah, okay, but everybody lives in fear, that's normal, that's life. What specific fears did you have to overcome? Like, go back now, like think to yourself, this, I'm putting you on the spot here, by the way. Think to yourself of, let's just say, the 9-to-5 Keanu. What was he feeling on a day-to-day, and how long was he feeling it for before he actually got into the group, you know, the community that changed your life, bro?
I say for a good 2 years of work in the warehouse, I was feeling like physically drained, like my body just, like, at the age of like 18, I'm having back problems, like my back's hurting. Like that's just
crazy.
It's not something you want to be having at the age of 18. You shouldn't have back problems at the age of 18. You shouldn't be coming home absolutely tired and like going to sleep, waking up, doing the same thing every single day. And eventually it was just like, you'd wake up every morning and like, I don't want to go to work. Like you're going to try and find a way to like not go into work and get paid, or like, because you just don't want to do a 9-to-5 kind of job. eventually it was like, I'm trying to look for an excuse to not go to this 9-to-5 job so much. Why don't I actually find something I enjoy doing and find something that's actually going to give me the freedom? And I think that was a changing point of like, I need to do something about this. I need to actually stop living in fear and just get into the community, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. But you was genuinely probably like I think you was like one of my first students, like in the group or whatever it was, or like my third or fourth, whatever it was. But you was a beginner, like when I was in my beginning stages, and even back then, like it was always that drive to get you to where you wanted to be. I remember our call, it's like we just clicked. And go back to what you said about your job, what was going on, like every day, you let it go on for 2 years, bro. That's a long time. It's like, why did you leave it gone for so long?
It was pretty much just the fear, honestly. It was just me being scared to just take that first step, essentially, like just not having enough money. And it was like I was living paycheck to paycheck, so it was like not having the funds to actually do it. Like it wasn't even the fact that I didn't have the funds, it was just I was spending my money on stupid things and like going out drinking, or like going to like town or whatever, or going out clubbing and things. I was just spending it on like stupid things. So it wasn't even the fact that I didn't have the money, but once I realised, why am I doing all of these things that don't bring me actual joy, they're like temporary fixes?
Yeah.
That's when I realised I've actually have the money to invest into myself. I'm just not using the money correctly.
Yeah, kind of like putting like the short-term dopamine hits, going out, doing this, doing that, buying this, buying that.
And just following people, like just following what everyone else does. It was just, I was tired of just following what everyone else does, and like just surrounding myself by like the type of people that like just go clubbing every weekend, just do the generic things that everyone else does. I just always knew I was destined to be for a different path.
How did you know that?
From young, I've always just been like in sort of like trying to make money somehow. Like I said in school, I used to sell cans and sweets and things. Like I've tried different side hustles and things. I've just always known from like, I've always been like that type of person to find my own way and find a way to like make something work, kind of thing.
Okay. And well, you waited 2 years. Like what did anything happen between, say, when you first started wanting to make money online? I know you tried the hustles, but it was 2 years between you stopped your hustles and then wanted to make money online. What was the switch in between them 2 years that made you think, right, it's genuinely time now or I'm cooked?
It was when I moved to the Lidl job, it was waking up just the 3:30 every single morning. It was like, I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
like this is not something that I want to be doing for the rest of my life, and it's not the way I want to live my life.
So how many side hustles did you try before?
It was trading, Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing, reselling. I tried clothes reselling before as well. I tried making a clothing brand as well. So I've tried quite a few things.
five hustles, and then like, so you tried 5 hustles from what age? Like what age did you start these hustles?
From probably about the age of around 16.
16, okay, so 16 to 18 you had the stint of 5 hustles.
Yeah.
Why do you believe they didn't work but appointment setting did? Because they all work.
Yeah, they all work. I think it was more because I wasn't willing to actually put in the work at the time. So obviously, like people have made it in those fields and things like that, but I wasn't actually willing to put in the work. I was just under the impression of I want to make money, but I want to do it quickly, and I don't want to work to actually do it, if that makes sense. But once I realised that like all these people that are making money, like even all the rich people like Elon Musk and things, they do certain things that just separate them from the rest of everyone else, and they still put in the work to this day, even though they're making loads of money. So I think it was just once I actually realised I actually have to put in the work to do something, that's when something actually worked, essentially.
Doing the work people didn't want to do.
Exactly.
But there's clearly something about setting that made you want to do the work rather than waiting around. Like what specifically about setting would you say made you want to do the work compared to these other things that you thought, right, I don't really want to do the work right now, this is kind of just... Because you got to enjoy what you do.
Exactly.
Like, I guess what I'm trying to say to you is like, what made you enjoy setting above these other hustles?
It's just the actual process of it as well. Like with trading and like all these Amazon FBA and things, like you're just looking at numbers all the time. When with appointment setting, you're building relationships with people, you're speaking to people, you're talking to different people on a daily basis, meeting new people, having different conversations, and essentially you're helping some of these people. Like some people, you're actually changing their lives as well. So it's not just a case of, you made a 5k month last month. All those people that did pay, those people are actually changing their lives right now, and it's a fulfilling feeling knowing that you're helping other people as well, not just making the money for yourself.
Yeah, and if you could explain appointment setting in like the way why. Well, like it's up to you what you want to say here, but why is it the best hustle? Because clearly it worked for you more than everybody else. So why would you say, like, even you can talk to people, you can do this, you can do that, but what specifically about it? Is it just the fact you send DMs or what? Like?
Yeah, it's the fact that it's the easiest but hardest hustle to learn, if that makes sense. Like, it's easy to do, like it is just essentially sending Instagram DMs, but it's also like the process of learning about like what to say in the DMs and things like that, and like how to structure the conversations. So it's just more of like the actual process.
Yeah, and on the back end of that, actually, I've got a question for you, because I always remember this, right? What do you think when you just think to yourself, I get paid to message people? You can go anywhere in the world right now.
Honestly,
you make your 5k a month, you can take your 1 week flights.
I sit there and I do like deep, and I'm like, I actually get paid to like just send Instagram DMs, or I just get paid to sit on an hour phone call. Like, it's insane, honestly. Like, it's an amazing feeling just to like think something so simple as sending Instagram messages is making you money.
And you think of messages, you think of what's going on, and obviously for you now it's 5k, messages, book calls, wherever it is. But what is your why, bro? Like, why are you doing this shit?
Like I said, it's just to be that first successful person in my family, and again, my family never got anything given to them. I never had anything given to me. I just want to be able to, like, I've got a little sister and things, so it's just being able to like support my family and just spoil my family as well, not just be able to support them, but my parents want to like buy a caravan and just go travelling once they retire. I want to be able to buy them the caravan and go, the house is all paid off, the caravan's all bought for you, off you go, I've got my brother and my sister, that's fine. Like, it's just being able to make it and be the first person to make it my family, and then also help out my family and essentially make my family make it as well. Okay. And what was like the biggest shifts? Because what did you change for, what should I say? It's like, what did you change personally in your own life to get you from where you are to where you wanted to be? Because there's clearly been some big changes, right? Like, what do you think of change? Like mental shifts, limiting beliefs, like the list goes on. There's so many changes that need to happen to get to where you want to be. Like sacrifice, like what do you sacrifice, bro? Sacrifice sleep. There was times where I sacrificed sleep. When I was working my job, there was times I was working like 9 till 7, and then I'd be working, I'd get home maybe about 8 o'clock, and then I'd be working from 8 o'clock maybe till about 3, 4, 5 a.m, and I'd be up at 6, 7 a.m. the next day to go to work then. So it was sacrificing sleep and like essentially time at the start of it, and I think it was just more of like switching the mentality that I had as well. So rather than relying on that motivation, just discipline and just get it done. Like, don't drop your head because something hasn't gone your way. Don't drop your head because you haven't reached the amount of money you want to make that month. Like, money's not everything in this game. The money will come with it once you start putting in the work, essentially.
Yeah. And why didn't you put in the work from the start?
That's the same question I always ask myself, to be honest. Like, that's one piece of advice that I give anyone that's like joining the appointment setting. Put in the work from the start, because that was a mistake that I made, is not putting it in the work from the start, and then just like having those moments where you sort of slack off. Like, I could have made progress months and months ago if I didn't slack off. So just putting in that work from the start and just being consistent with it and not slacking off, because essentially when you slack off, you take a step back, you've got to start all over again, kind of thing. So if you just keep it going and you put in that work from the start, stay consistent with it, you will see results in no time.
Okay. So kind of just staying consistent and just not giving up from the start, right? And like, talk about the community, what I've got going on and the things going on. Like tell the people what your genuine thoughts about it. Like, I want to know.
The community is brilliant. Like, the boys that are in there, they're all like, it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So like, everyone in the group has the same goals. Everyone wants to be able to make it out of this 9 to 5 life. They want to be able to make money online. Even yesterday myself, like I said, there's been times where I've gone completely ghost, haven't messaged group chat, haven't turned up to group calls and things, and bro's just been messaging me constantly, being like, what's going on, bro? Like, I haven't heard from you in a while, and he'll still continue messaging me like day after day until I answer, and then eventually he hops on the call with me, and it's usually the calls that sort of change my mindset and sort of get me back into things. And even just the training in general, like, it's good. Like, this guy's probably annoyed with it, amount of questions he gets on a daily basis from everyone, but
I love that shit, bro.
That's what he's there for, like, asking the questions. Like, people probably bombard him for hours on end, and he's fine with it. He doesn't get annoyed with it. You can ask the other boys in the group questions as well. Like, it's just a whole good community of like boys that are just like-minded, and just want the same things in life essentially.
Yeah. And anybody specifically you've got in a relationship with, or you thought like, oh, he's a good guy in the group? Anyone specifically? Because we're all the same, we're all like-minded, you know. But is there anybody specifically you fuck with, or?
Definitely Sagar and Habib. Obviously, Habib, I've known him the longest in the group because he joined around the same time I did. I think he was not long before me. And Sagar, to be fair, like he's really sound boy. He's put in the work from the start. Like I don't think I've even seen that boy slack off once, to be fair. So
yeah.
And to be fair, you build relationships with everyone. Like everyone's sort of like one of the boys kind of thing.
Yeah. And what's it like being? Because I've been there myself. Small town where there's comedy network of big people. What's it like to actually get on a group call and be with people who's actually like-minded, wants to put in the work, and seeing the Wins channel every day? How much limiting beliefs does that shit break, bro?
Honestly, like it's not so many limiting beliefs because obviously we live in small towns in Wales. There's not many people that have the same goals as us or like has the same drive and ambitions as us. So it's really hard to like surround yourself with people with the same mindset. So when you've got it in like sort of a group, I know it is essentially like meeting people online, but you've got a group of like-minded people. So it's just so nice to have people around you that you can sort of talk to and relate to. And just even just a general chat of like, oh, the boys are all working, just getting the call together, we're all grafting it out, like everyone's having a laugh. And it just keeps you locked in, even though you're sat having a laugh on the call with the boys. Yeah. But you're still grafting as well.
Yeah, it's like last night, we was in the lounge with like one, bro, just working.
I'm sat there waiting for my call.
Yeah, and well, like it's been a mad journey so far. And if you could choose, like, there's got to be a couple of lessons that you've learned along the way that's genuinely separated you, because people come into set and don't make it. Why did you make it? Like, how did you make it happen?
I made it happen by, even though there was times where I did slack off, I'd always come round and eventually be like, no, this is what I need to pursue. And like I've had times where I thought, like, is appointment setting even for me? Like, should I just give this up? It's not going my way.
Why didn't you?
Because I realised that I just need to stick to one thing. Just stick to one thing, just master that skill, because jumping to side hustles hasn't worked for me. Like, obviously I've spent 2 years jumping from side hustles, not one of them worked. It's purely because jumping from side hustles doesn't work. You need to pick one and you need to stick to it. And I've just learned a lot more like consistency and discipline, I think, as well from it.
Okay, and to all, you say consistency and discipline, like how has that kind of changed your life? Because at the end of the day, bro, your life has done a full 180. Like full 180. It's like you've gone from 9 to 5, waking up every day, doing the stuff you don't want to do, to, bro, we're in this fucking nice hotel on a random Thursday, bro, just filming YouTube, you know? So like...
No, it is crazy. Like it's helped me in like other aspects of my life, like in like fitness wise and things like that. Like it hasn't just helped me in appointment setting, like it's made me disciplined in the gym. It's made me realise, like, if I can't go to the gym, how can I stay consistent in appointment setting? If I can't go on just a simple walk in the day, like I just want to stay indoors all day, how am I going to do something as appointment setting? Like, it's just helped me stay a lot more disciplined and focused in other aspects of my life as well.
Okay, and I'm actually curious, bro, how did you find me?
I actually don't
I don't remember that.
I don't remember how I found you. I think I followed you on Instagram, like, just as a general thing, like we had mutuals and stuff, and I just kept seeing the stories, and I was like, this guy's like traveling to Cape Town, like, bro, standing in front of a helicopter, like, I'm trying to live the same life, bro.
Okay, but now you can do that life, knowing you can actually, bro, like, you're at the point right now, like, you do 5K, you can take a 1 flight, you can do the things, like, genuine talk, like, if you could actually say how that feels, like, genuine, like, how does it feel to know you can do that? Considering last year, like you said this morning when I picked you up from the train station, you said, you know, it's like you've seen everybody do.
Everyone just miserable, and it's like, you're miserable because you're going to work, and I was like, my day is just going to be chill today, like I'm doing whatever I want today, kind of thing. But actually, it feels amazing, like just knowing, you feel free essentially, like knowing that like, no one's going to tell you, oh, like you can't have your holiday for like next week, sorry, like I know you've booked it, you can't have your holiday, oh, like you can't take your lunch break until like an hour before like your shift ends or something. You just feel a lot more free to be able to like, do whatever you want when you want. Like, it sounds really small and like silly, but like just something as small as going for a walk on a random like Tuesday at 2 p.m. Like, not many people have that luxury. Like a lot of people are sat in work at that time, waiting to finish work, and then they're tired and can't be bothered to go on the walk. So it's just something as small as that, just to be grateful for. Like, let alone taking those one-way flights and things, just being able to do the little things as well. And
question for you actually, because I get caught up in it a lot as well. Do you actually think sometimes like oh, my life's normal now. But when other people look at your life, they're like, fuck, how is he, like, what's going on, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, I've like spoken to some people that I haven't spoken to in a while, and they've been like, oh, how have you been? Oh yeah, I've been doing this, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, even if I am like, oh yeah, let me like meet up with a couple of old friends or something, like, they're all working. It's hard to like schedule anything because they're all working and they haven't sort of taken the same path, but it's like, I'm free all the time. And they look into my life like, you've asked me all these times to like meet up and things, and like, how are you free all the time? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And you took a completely different path to the regular, like, you took the same path, but bro, like, where we live is work Monday to Friday, pub Friday, Saturday, Sunday, work Monday, right? And regret that Monday. Why did you go down a different path? Because I know you went down that same path for a minute, but why did you go down the path of, right, okay, let's do something completely different? Like, what did your family like think when you actually like thought, right, fuck it, I'm going against everybody?
Yeah, I feel like it was when I sort of cut off the people around me that weren't on the same path. So obviously, again, when we talk about like sacrifices and things, like, that's one of the sacrifices, like cutting off all the people from school, all those people that like you were surrounding yourself with, and probably you and them being the reason that you were going out every weekend, etc. So just sort of cutting those people off, just doing it on your own essentially, and just going down your own path, focusing on yourself, and then surrounding yourself with the boys in the community. I think that's what stopped me from doing that just like basic life of following what everybody does to going on to like the right path is what I want to call it, the right path for what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and has there been any, because I know you said like you fluctuated months before, last month or whatever it was, like, has there been any like mental battles or anything you actually like got to get over?
Yeah, like obviously there's been struggles within the appointment setting, there's also been personal issues and things like that as well. But again, it was just sort of overcoming those issues and like just realising why I'm doing this in the first place. Like, I'm helping other people, like help myself as well. Like, I'm just as important as other people. So like helping yourself is just as important as helping other people.
Yeah, so easy to get caught up in the mess of like next thing, you forget about yourself. Exactly. You know? And it's like, do you ever look back in life and just think, fuck, I can do what I want. I've got freedom.
Yeah, honestly, like, generally I think that's the first thought I have every morning when I wake up. It's like, today I've just woken up when I wake up. I've got an amazing day ahead of me. I've got another like 12 hours on my day to finish off, and then I'm working for 7 hours, and then I sleep for another 7 hours. Yeah. It's just a nice, simple, easy life to live.
Yeah, and bro, I agree with that. Simple, easy life to live, and great for the small things. But let me ask you something, right? And you worked some hard jobs, labouring, doing all the stuff you didn't want to do, whatever it was. I want to ask you your favourite part of your journey so far. The 5K month probably wasn't even your favourite part, I can imagine. What was your favourite part?
I think it's the whole process so far. Like, sitting here now, and like my favourite part is just looking back at like how far I've come. Like, just thinking like this time a year ago, I was sat in an office with my headphones on, speaking to like customers that didn't even want to speak to me, didn't even want to get sold to or anything like that. So it's just, and then I've come from there, had all of these like setbacks and all of these like mental setbacks as well, and I still pushed myself and actually made that. So I think the best part for me has just been the whole process and like just the whole journey in general.
Yeah. What about the feeling of giving that notice in? How did that feel?
Honestly, it's amazing. Like, just giving the notice and then knowing that I was good at that job anyway, like knowing just my boss's face when I handed in that notice, she was like she was gobsmacked. It was just so out of the blue because like I never mentioned it to anyone. But it was just such an amazing feeling. It was like they were like telling me that like this is what we can give you, this and that, like trying to get me to say it. I was like, I've made my decision, and it was just an amazing like feeling to know that like I don't have to ask you to like go on break anymore. I don't have to like ask you if I can book a holiday or anything. I can just do it whenever I want.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you quit work on a Friday. Your last day was a Friday?
Sure, yeah.
That Monday. Tell me your full process on that Monday, bro.
I woke up on Monday and I was like, wait, I've woken up at 10 a.m. I haven't woken up at 10 a.m. in ages. Like, I used to work weekends as well, so it's not like I'd have like a weekend to myself or anything. So waking up on that Monday morning just knowing I don't have to go to work. I can just go to the gym, open my laptop, work a couple of hours, make some money, and then just enjoy my day.
Yeah, do what the fuck you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good, bro. It's really good, and it's really good to see your journey so far. But it's taken you, I wouldn't say a while, but you could have sped the process up. If you was to restart your journey and give advice to somebody who is either beginner setter now. Let's just start with beginner setter. If you could restart your journey, what would you do differently compared to what you've done?
Stick at it 100%. Like just keep going and don't get to a point where you've got onto a roll and like you've made like a couple of comms and think that you're like sort of too cool for school. Like still, there's nothing. There's not too much that you can learn essentially. Like there's always something that you can keep learning. You're never like the best of the best. Just keep at it. Just keep learning new things and just picking up new things as well. And don't slack off just because something isn't going your way. Keep at it, and eventually it's going to go your way.
But do you believe not slacking off comes down to just a strong reason why? Or?
Yeah, it can be just a strong reason why, and just sort of the way you handle things not going your way as well.
Okay.
Just sort of being able to handle it and like mentally take it and mentally say like, this is just a minor, like next time it's going to be good.
Yeah. But like just kind of just getting over them small things to get to that next level, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and 2 years, bro. I always remember this 2 years. You told me 2 years. Do you wish you started 2 years ago?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, when you first actually thought about it
100%.
2 years ago?
But I think it may have actually been a blessing because it may have been a case like I started 2 years ago and didn't actually put in the work full stop, let alone had a couple of times where I slacked off.
Yeah.
So it could have just been a blessing in disguise. I like to say like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. But we all delay things, and you delayed it as well. And you look back, I think, imagine the work you're putting in now as 5K with Keanu was getting put in 2 years ago. Like imagine that.
Insane, honestly.
You know? And it's like, was there any times that you kept delaying it for like just excuses, like mental excuses?
Yeah, there were times where it was just excuses, and there were some times where it was just generally being lazy. Like it was just being comfortable. Like you've quit your job, all right, perfect. I don't have to wake up. I don't really have to do anything. It's just getting comfortable. But when you realise it's like if you don't work hard enough, you're not going to eat. That's when it's sort of it's that switch to say, right, I actually have to do something about it now.
Yeah. Do you think the biggest switch was when you quit your job?
Yeah, that was the biggest switch. It was sort of burning all bridges. So it was like it was either I make it or I don't make it kind of thing. I just put myself into that position of like I have to make it now, or I'm gonna have to go back to like a normal 9 to 5 job. Like there's no in between. There's no fallback option. It was just either it's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
and it's gonna happen either way.
Yeah, you forced the outcome, right?
Exactly.
And setting, you've done the 5K month setting. What's the next steps, for you, bro? I'm curious. What are the next steps? Because
definitely reach maybe 10K month, and even sort of move into like closing full time as well.
Yeah.
And obviously just keep building from there. Eventually, like start building my own personal brand and things. Start posting content more. Hence this. And yeah, just sort of level up in different aspects of life as well, like fitness wise as well. I'm actually thinking of doing a marathon next year as well, just to sort of have that extra push for myself. So it's just setting those hurdles and setting those obstacles and those goals for me to actually reach.
Yeah, and you said 10K month ago full-time closing, so you're transitioning from the setting. What do you think, like, what are you preparing for? Like, because there's going to be some like things coming on the way. Like, do you feel like now you've gone through the setting thing, you kind of know how the process is going to go, you're preparing for bigger and better things now, so the journey is going to be a bit more sweeter because you know, right, okay, well, this is just kind of a test, or?
I feel like the journey's been a bit more sweeter, like, just even from closer, then eventually I want to progress into like sales management and things, and it's nice to have come through the ranks, not just gone like straight into closing, because now you know how like the appointment setting side of things work, and then now you know how like the closing side of things work, so that way when you do want to move into like sales management and things, you know how every single process works, so you can sort of help in every aspect as well.
Do you believe that, because you've gone from setting to closing, do you believe the setting was important for you before going into closing?
Definitely, because I feel like if you're a closer and you haven't done the setting process, you're more like, oh yeah, these leads need to be like this, that, and like you're very picky. If you've gone through the process and you've gone through the process of setting before, it makes you realise like what setting actually entails and what actually goes on in like the process of setting and like how it works and things. So you can give a bit more insight as well and a bit more help to like the whole team essentially, because the whole team's winning. The whole team's winning if you win essentially.
Yeah. You know the back end process. You can't just blame the setter, because you've been a setter yourself.
You've done it yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And do you believe you're going to get a 10K month?
100%. It's going to happen. There's no maybe, there's no if buts, maybe it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one when we do the 10K month video with Keanu. Mark my words. Let's go, bro.
Let's get it.